All right, Panther fans, here we go. We got, what, 9 days, right? We got, yeah, you see that smile. You see the smile on my... So I'm happy. I'm a happy guy right now. And I'm going to tell you why. So yesterday, we got our first glimpse of the possible, I say possible, opening night lines. And a couple things that, two or three things that stood out. Number one, I have a favor to ask from some of you ladies. One, like, could somebody please bring Barkov some chicken soup, or like find out what's going on? He's sick again. The dude is sick again. Now, we went through this 2-3 times last year with Barkov. He needs some TLC. I think that's what I'm getting at, all right? So we need one lady from the fan base. I know he's got like baby mama drama and all of that. But can we get one respectable woman to feed this kid? What's he eating? Because you don't get sick half dozen times a year at his age unless he's not really taking care of himself. So we need to fix that. So Zach Dalpe filled in for him on the top line. So that tells me that Dalpe is first guy off the bench. Then, why you see that smile on my face as my nose is dripping from my niacin, my apologies, Mackie Samoskevich, whose name I'm starting to actually get used to pronouncing right. I used to say Samoskevich, it's Samoskevich, Jaw, so I think I might get this one right. Now, he was on that line with Bennett and Tkachuk. And please, whatever, all of the hockey gods, please let this kid just continue to slide on in and look like he fits. Because what that does is that gives us the third line, which is Lundell, Luosterainen, and Reinhart, which, let's be honest, that's not a third line. There's like 4 NHL teams that maybe that's a third line. That's a second line in the NHL. There's a lot of teams that would love to have Lundell, Reinhart, and Luosterainen as their second line. So we are blessed, all right? And then the fourth line, I believe it was Stenlund at center with Lomberg, and then Cousins back on the fourth line. So Lorentz was not in, and Dalpe filled in on top for Barkov. Now, at the beginning of the season, if you've been watching the podcast, for those of you who don't know, I have a Monday through Friday podcast that I do every day for the members and the Patreon supporters. It's $3 a month. Links are in the description. But if you've been watching the podcast or listening to the podcast, I had laid out what I wanted for my lines a couple months ago. And I had hoped that Denisenko could come in and make the team on the third line next to Lundell, and that would move Luosterainen up next to Bennett. Now, a couple people have told me, watch out for Samoskevich. I'm like, okay, all right, but year after year after year after year after year, people tell me to watch for this guy, and this guy comes in, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. This year is different. He absolutely has a skill set ready for the NHL. If he can fit in, and this is, I know that this is still if. Don't get me wrong. It's day one with the lines. I grasp all of that. It's still an if. But if this kid can come in and fit with Bennett and Tkachuk and give us the production we need out of that spot. Let's think about this for a second, because we were planning on Nick Cousins. Now, how many goals was Nick Cousins going to get you? The high end is 20. The high end is 20, right? If this kid can come in and develop and play on that second line on an entry-level contract, and then we can keep Luosterainen with Lundell and Reinhart because of the chemistry of that line. If Barkov could just stop getting sick, we are going. I'm going to say it right now. If Samoskevich comes in and does what I think this kid's capable of doing, best top 9 in hockey. Find me a better one. And I'm sure somebody will say it in the comments. Top 6, you want to argue, but top 9. when your third line is Lundell with Luosterainen and Reinhart, that line is going to blow up this year. I can smell it. You can see Lundell's confidence. You saw what Luosterainen meant to the team at the end of last year, and we know what Reinhart's going to do. He's not going to score a goal for the first 10 games and get everybody pissed off, and then all of a sudden he's going to score 35 in the last 70 games. That's just the routine. So I'm not expecting a quick start from him. If he gets a quick start, the dude might score 50, okay? Because I think he got 1 goal in the first 13 games last year, 11, 13, something like that. So he just like skips the first month of the season. So if he can start off okay, be good to go. A couple people asked me if I still felt slow start, fast start. I'm not doing my season preview just yet. As you see, people get injured, right? I'm going to be starting to work on division previews towards the end of this week. Matthias gets here tomorrow. And then I'll have the Panthers season preview the 8th or the 9th. As we really get closer, I don't do my season previews so far in advance because so much can change. But and I'm going to tell you why. This is different than, I'm not, don't get me started on Owen Tippett. He's gone, Jaws. He's gone. Okay? So we'll have to let that go. The Ennis ankle, okay, I mean, he's not bad, but let's face it. All right? Sam Samoskevich was the 24th pick in the draft. Zito poked him. This is a Bill Zito pick. This is the point I'm trying to make, okay? For years, Dale Talon, unless we had the first, second, maybe like the 5th pick in the draft, our first-round draft picks were crap. Can we just say it? Pretty much crap. Or we gave up on them too soon, like Lawson, Krause, and Owen Tippett, who I will not mention again. Now, Samoskevich, though, what this does, I'm not just happy for Samoskevich. I'm not just happy for the team that we have now. But what this means is that Bill Zito is going to turn out to be just as good. I can't talk. There's a spider on the camera distracting me. What this means is it means Bill Zito might just be as good at drafting as he is at plucking unknown, unheralded players from other teams and turning them into something. If this dude can draft the way he can go get free agents and waiver wire picks, we've got to win a cup at some point, right? Right? It's just good news all the way around. This kid has come in, and I've seen a couple of doubters, right? Couple of doubters. I think, I won't say it by name. I find it interesting that, well, no, I won't say that. I'm going to put that right back because anything could happen, and the next day we see he could be back down in the AHL. So I'm gonna wait on that. I'm not going to drop any mics just yet. But I'm happy. We'll just put it that way. This is really good news. Even if the kid only gets his 9 games and isn't quite 100% ready and has to come up later, I wouldn't like that. But again, this means Bill Zito can knock it out of the park. Okay, at 24, the 24th pick in the draft is it's an early second rounder. You know what I mean? So very happy with that. Other than that, we got a game tonight. I'm gonna do a recap tonight. Get that moving again. Okay, we get the engine. We did an oil change. We changed a couple of things up here. Nothing spectacular. What this is, it's hard to see it, unfortunately. But for my birthday, it's a shark. It's a shark nightlight, but it doesn't really work with the camera and the lighting. You really can't tell what it is. But that Matthias got that for me for my birthday. He's going to be here tomorrow, so it's on the wall. So we'll put it that way, all right? I'm ready. I'm ready. You're ready. Everybody's ready. I'll finish with this. A couple of people asked me if I thought slow start, fast start. I talked about this yesterday on the podcast. For a while, I was concerned about the slow start. Then I saw how we looked in the beginning, and I know that was just our regular starters against a bunch of kids. But in terms of the chemistry on the ice, the opponent doesn't matter. You either have chemistry on the ice or you don't. These guys looked like they took a long nap after the Canes series and then went back out there on the ice game one in the preseason and just kept doing what they were doing then. Okay, they look like they're completely ready to pick up where they left off last year. So you guys know I always got to have something to be worried about. I have switched my concern from are we going to start slow to I think we're going to start fast. Are we going to have enough gas and or slash is Maurice going to manage their playing time and practices? Is Maurice going to manage things a little bit differently, maybe a little bit better, okay? So that when we get to the end of wherever the season ends, these guys still have the energy because Tampa won cups while they still had energy. And then did you notice when they lost to Colorado, you could tell the Lightning were gassed, right? Vegas, I mean, they had plenty of gas left in the tank. So whatever we need to do to get into a top 3 spot, fine. But leave some gas in the tank, Maurice. That's really my biggest concern. I think they're going to pick up where they left off. And if they can start fast, this is almost the season preview. If they could start fast, then maybe we won't have to play catch up at the end of the year. You see what I'm saying? We won't have to expend that energy. So that's what I'm hoping for. The beginning of the schedule is, I'm not going to call it easy, but we should start fast. That's what I'll say. All right. Come on, kid. Come on, Samoskevich. Do it. Please do it, because the kid has mad skills. His hands, okay, he can put the puck in the back of the net. And if he can keep up and play the right game with Bennett and Tkachuk, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right? There's going to be more than one superstar rookie. All right? I'm not saying the kid's going to win. They already gave Bedard the Calder. I mean, it's like already crap. You know, don't even worry about that. But I think Samoskevich could make some noise and open up a couple of eyes. And Bill Zito's going to be... give that man an extension. Yeah. All right. I'll see you tonight.